guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to come on here today and talk about HIV and AIDS since it is still very prevalent and continues to spread in our community. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And also, if you have it in your heart to donate, I would also appreciate that. But we're going to do the disclaimer and then get right into the video. Thank you. Hi guys, how you doing today? Today we're going to talk about HIV. And the reason I wanted to talk about HIV because even though people know how to get it, they know about it, the word is out, the education piece I think is there as well because most people know about it. However, with that being said, it is still running rampant and being spread today, even though the advancement in medicine has taken people down from way back in the day when when it first came on the scene, people were having to take like anywhere from 15, 20 pills or so a day, a couple of times a day. So anybody taking that many pills is like, ugh, like, the thought of it just, ugh. But I was a nurse, became a nurse, registered nurse back in 1991. And then I was working on my bachelor's degree. As I was working on my bachelor's degree, I did my clinical in the OASIS Clinic, and that is the AIDS clinic in Los Angeles. And Dr. Jordan, he just passed last year. Wonderful, wonderful man, very much so an activist. They did pioneering work and could go toe to toe with some of the major, this is my personal prejudice opinion, with some of the major centers of HIV. I think that they are really pioneer and just have that caring heart in what they do. And yes, I'm being prejudiced because I did my clinical there, and the wonderful information and education that I got while there was just phenomenal. And as I was there, my preceptor had asked me a question. She said, why do I think that AIDS continues to be a problem or spread within the Latina and the Black community? And me being a young bachelor nursing student, I go, oh, it's education. That's the first thing out of my mouth, and probably will be the first thing out of a lot of students' mouths. She said, no, think again. And so I'm racking my brain trying to think like, what else could it be? And she said, no, it's not education, because who do you think don't know how to get it? Who do you think haven't heard about it by now? And this is around about 2000, before 2003, because I graduated December 2003. So somewhere before then, in the early first couple of years of 2000, in the 2000s. So she said, think again. And I was like, And then she said, it's culture. It's the culture that's in the Latina and the Black community that continues to have it being problematic in our community. And so then she went on to say that a lot of the men who have relations with men, they want to protect the female that they're dealing with, but they do not want to have to deal with, oh, are you cheating on me? Who are you messing with? They feel like they're going to get that. So you have some men who are willing to, this is what they were getting back, the feedback, don't kill the messenger. But they said that they would protect the woman, but then the women that's going to challenge that protection. So some of the men will decide to either keep using the condom, stop using it and play Russian roulette, or they may even just altogether maybe break up with the woman because they don't want it to get out. Because they used to have the lingo, or the language used to be on the questions that they used to ask, because they used to associate HIV and AIDS with being a gay disease. So they would ask the question to men, are you gay? And of course, a man that did not feel that he was gay, even though he was practicing um, sex with men and he didn't feel he was gay, he would answer no. So that would be marked off no. So they realized they needed to change the language to have you had sex with a man, or when was the last time you had sex with a man? When was the last time you had unprotected sex? Are you promiscuous? So those type of things, questions that came to play. And then and that's how that is. But just wanted to get into today's topic because the question was, and this is just December, this is now March, so this was just in December. How long can HIV lay dormant? That was a question, and this is from reference.com. Go to reference.com if you want to get information, because it's very good. Also, the CDC has very good information for any questions that you might have about HIV and AIDS infection and the treatment. So this is from Staff Writer, and it was last updated, like I said, in December 2023. It is now March 2024. So the question was, HIV, does it lay dormant? And here's the answer, which might surprise some people. HIV does not lay dormant. It takes anywhere from 7 to 10 years or more from the acquisition period until HIV develops into AIDS without any treatment. And that was from Dr. Larry Lutwick and Dr. Joel Gallant, and they were from HealthTap. And there are many treatments that can help delay HIV from progressing to AIDS. And HIV is typically detectable in the blood within several months after it has been acquired. So within 7 months, I'm sorry, not 7, but several months after you have acquired HIV, then you can detect it in the blood. And HIV, most people know, but if in case you don't, is short for human immunodeficiency virus. So immunodeficiency means that you're deficient in protecting, I'm just saying it in layman's terms. So you can imagine I'm just going to use WBCs, for example. You get an infection, your WBCs decide, hey, what's going on here? And they ram up and produce like they're going out of crazy to go fight this infection. But when you're immunocompromised, they don't even realize, they just relaxed in there, sipping on a little tea and all that. And they're like, they don't even realize they got an enemy in there, the infection's there. So that's why your WBCs may not show a reaction initially. And so the virus will compromise the immune system by attacking both the T cells and the CD4 cells. And the body has no way of getting rid of it permanently. HIV will eventually progress to AIDS, which stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. And AIDS is the final stage of HIV and is much more severe as the patient's immune system is greatly compromised. Patients with AIDS are at risk for opportunistic infection, and those opportunistic infections are just infections that's out there in the community waiting to happen, like a cold can be opportunistic infection. And now we're dealing with C19, that could be also. And so those who are infected with HIV have come across the virus in the blood, spinal fluid, semen, pre-ejaculate, vaginal fluid, or breast milk. To prevent acquiring HIV, experts recommend practicing safe sex by using a contraceptive, practicing safer injections by not sharing your needles, or in always using new and sterilized needles and equipment each time, and by minimizing exposure to body fluids in all environments. Now, one of the things that for me that's missing out of here is abstinence. And I watched quite a few videos where the education piece or sharing piece is where people are mentioning that abstinence didn't work before, and you're telling young kids and people to abstain, and that doesn't work, so they don't even mention it. But personally, I feel you still should mention it because we know abstinence is another barrier. And I can say for myself, even though I've been married since 2014, December the 22nd, 2014, I've been abstinence since about 2018. So if I can be abstinence within my marriage without stepping out, going out there, practicing any kind of sex with anyone else, then I know that that is something that other people can do. It's just that people don't want to say it because they feel they can't. But I still think if you, that is still one of the ways being abstinence, and that's something that we still should put out there. We shouldn't take it back just because we feel that people can't, because I know you can practice abstinence. I've done it. I'm a flaming heterosexual woman, if anybody want to know that, but I have not been involved in with the, and I had, my husband was coming in every day, you know, and still nothing. So don't tell me, and that was like 5 straight years. So don't tell me that you can't do it. If a married person cannot step out of a marriage and have that by not getting that from their spouse, then you can as well. So I just wanted to come on and talk about that because some people had the question, how long can HIV lay dormant? And that's what some people think, that it's laying dormant, but it's really there. And also, while I was at the clinic getting my preceptorship way back in the 2000, I want to say 2002, or did I do that clinical 2002? I might have done it 2003 because I graduated December of that year. But while I was doing that clinical, they mentioned how the news had come on and said Magic Johnson was no longer detected. And at that time, no longer detected meant that in one drop of blood, there was less than 400 HIV cells in one drop of blood. And that showed or meant that non-detected. And then if a person stops taking that medicine thinking that, oh, I'm clean, I'm free, I don't want to say clean, but I'm saying clean in the sense of not being infected with the virus. So I don't have it. And if you think that non-detected equals that, that's not what it means. It just means that there's so many of the actual virus in one drop of blood that means that it's not detected. That's it. It doesn't mean you're negative. It doesn't mean that you never had it or anything. And I want to get that out of the minds of people, because I even ran into some healthcare professionals that said, I don't believe he ever had it. And I'm sure Magic Johnson will tell you he has his own information on it, but he will tell you, yes, I still have it. And you got to imagine, if you take the medicine and then you stop taking it, your viral load is going to shoot up. Now you can look up this information. That's why I invite you to go to the CDC. I'll put those links on this video, but hopefully you appreciate this video. Like, share, subscribe if you want to give a donation, because we're doing some great things planned. We have some great things planned. We're going to be doing, I did a play back in 2005 that was inspired from my clinical experience with my preceptorship. And it details the story of 5 women that were impacted by HIV and AIDS. And it's a great story. And the way we told it from the women's point of view, and we did it like a talk show thing, but it's really, really a great story. And hopefully people will come out and support it. We're working on right now, redoing it. And hopefully you'll come out and support. And there will be other videos in regards to HIV and AIDS, because it's still needed. And it's unfortunate that is still the information, but we have to do it from the cultural perspective because everybody knows, just like way back in the day, 20 years ago, when my preceptor had told me, she said, no, the education is out there. Everybody basically knows about it. However, why, if you know about it, why aren't you doing anything to protect yourself from it? So that's the hope that I have, is that by sharing and just getting immersed into the community, that we can help prevent the spread and prevent new infections, and also give out the information on how to maintain yourself to keep from progressing to AIDS. I hope you like this video. So remember to like, share, subscribe, and also if you want to donate, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a great day.